Good afternoon, folks. This is Bob from BBD on this 9th of September. Little build up. I'm just gonna go a little see how we got waylaid by China. Basically what China was up to was actually, like I said earlier, was blowing in the wind, actually screaming in the wind, just past what we did when we made Ladakh into a union territory, and they went ballistic about it, and they went ballistic big time. India didn't pay much heed to it, and it shouldn't have. This is an internal matter, rightly so. It's an internal matter. We kind of came out, gave a hard statement that they should not interfere in internal affairs. But what we forgot is this is not the end for them, because they continued bringing it up in all different forums. While they kept bringing up Kashmir for Pakistan, the actual intention was always Ladakh. Always Ladakh, and we should never forget that. So just going about, see what happened, during, I'm going to build this up from October last year. On October 3rd, C. Uday Bhaskar had an article where he very rightly said, this is just before the Malipuram thing that was coming up in Chennai, at 70, Beijing projects power. I mean, we were already viewing that, seeing that. But this has limits, because by then, China military capability is impressive, but Hong Kong shows this isn't enough. There are lessons in it for India, right? Well, on October 3rd, you had Harsh Pant writing, by backing Pakistan's request for the UNSC to discuss India's Kashmir move, China has signaled its priorities and made any normalization of ties almost impossible. We knew all this, right? It's not new, right? Then you on October 5th had Minaz Merchant write, Delhi watching Beijing, China is India's principal rival, both regionally today and globally over the next 2 decades. India's strategic policy must therefore be aimed not just at Pakistan, but squarely at China's complicity with Islamabad's state policy of terrorism. China has backed Pakistan jihad by proxy strategy while engaging in duplicitous Wuhan spirit exchanges with India. The duplicity is being peeled away layer by layer. And I don't know how many layers we needed to go through, because the statements that came out, unprecedented by our foreign secretary. I can't understand. Unprecedented are the fires that are happening in Los Angeles. This is precedented. We had precedent of this in 67. We had precedent of this in 62. So this is, please stop calling it unprecedented. We just got caught unawares. Then you had Claude RP, a fairly good grip on Tibet and China, writing on 7th October, Mao's back in war. On the 70th National Day of the People's Republic of China, she returned to Mao Zedong's theory that power comes from the barrel of the gun. Notes of PM Modi, he says, China is clearly getting ready in case of another showdown with India. And they were getting ready, this is October 7th, and we were not ready. This is what I call unbelievable lack of focus. You had another article by Indrani Bagchi which says, fortunately for us on 8th, China has been surprised at India's ability to play the international system for its ends with far less at its command. This came out clearly in the August 16th UNSC joust on Kashmir at the UNHRC and in the week-long UNGA jaw. China's playbook is likely to harden, but India's will too. Well, China's did harden. This is again 8th October last year. But India still continued to believe the better of China, right? Then we had another article, 14th October. While Indian side may lay a lot of store by sentiment, sentimental evocations of a shared past are unlikely to move China. And that is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Sentimentality must be thrown out of the window, whereas far as China is concerned. Then, on 14th October, Harsh Pant write, limits of informality. Such engagement can't hide the fact that the Sino-Indian bilateral relationship has not much to show for itself so far. This is despite Wuhan. And that's a consequence of underlying structural realities shaping the engagement. And that's something that we've never really got our hands around, right? Then you have another one where our guy says, don't comment on internal affairs. India wants China. That's good on 1st of November. That means 1st of November, they're still talking about Ladakh and Kashmir. It says, the government on Thursday asked China to refrain from commenting on India's internal affairs and reminded Beijing that it continued to be in occupation of not just large tracts of land in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, but had also illegally occupied Indian territory from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. China's foreign ministry spokesman Geng Zhuang in Beijing on Thursday said that India unilaterally changed its domestic laws and administrative divisions challenging China's sovereignty. This is unlawful and void, and this is not effective in any way and will not change the fact that the area is under Chinese. And this is on 1st of November. We are still, things are not as calm as they seemed even then. Then you have an article that says, crossing a red line. Chinese transgression in South China Sea needs strong pushbacks. More importantly, the Indo-Pacific is virtually India's new neighbor. India has such a stake in peace and tranquility in the South China Sea as any other regional power. So China was at the same stage talking about doing stuff and interfering in Indian affairs, as we call it, and at the same time bunging around in the South China Sea. Then on 12th November, we have this, and I mentioned this in my post, India-China begin joint training for Afghan diplomats. I never understood this move. Our diplomacy is two different things, absolutely two different things. I'm not sure how they can even have a confluence of interest. Why would we train diplomats together? Another way to get the Chinese and to see what the way we are thinking, that's for sure. Then on November 18th, we have India-China bonhomie under strain. The lie issue adds layer of complexity as ties reach most challenging phase since Doklam. This is 18th November. And we were caught sleeping. That's what kind of amazes me. There are reports, obviously, things are not hunky-dory in China, and that's why things are, that's why they're, focusing on external affairs. It's external enemies like India and Taiwan. Because here's another report, says Middle Indian Kingdom frays on its borderland. China is fragile in Xinjiang and Hong Kong. Comparison in India's don't hold. So not only this, and on Inner Mongolia, they have lots of problems in Inner Mongolia. Then you have this huge issue of, there was a report on 28th November, inside China's concentration camps. In these camps, China holds 3 million prisoners under tight surveillance. Now this is an issue that India must bring up with all the entire Muslim world. How can you even, of course, we have our internal problems. I know that's why probably we can't really blow this up. But our position is still far better than what China is doing to their minority Muslims there. And I'm not sure why Pakistan is being allowed to get away with this Fortesian connect with China. We shouldn't allow it at all. Unfortunately, at that stage, I guess we were trying to buy some peace, and Ravi Shankar Prasad, I remember talking about, hey, China hails India's decision on who are we. Well, this is what we do, guys, to pander to China and its interests. We should have banned it then. Luckily, we're going to be forced to ban it now. Claude RP on 2nd December writes about Xi's problems, Hong Kong to Xinjiang. We have to be able to get in and use this against China. This is absolutely necessary. There was an incident on 4th of December, forced Chinese ship to retreat, says Navy chief. Then you had a December 5th, an article, China fumes over US House bill on Uyghurs. We should actually be jumping all over this, but we didn't. Then we had 6th of November, India's northern border concerns. In the months of, and he's saying it on 6th of November, in the months to come, the 4,056 kilometer long China border will be in the news. Probably for the wrong reasons, despite the Chennai Connect in October between PM Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping at Mamallapuram. Beijing continues its aggressive stance on Ladakh. The formation of two union territories with J&K and Ladakh seems to have irritated Beijing no end. China deplores and firmly opposes this. We knew this. It was never going to get better. So obviously India was making some move. 9th December, there's an article which says China on mind, India set to hand over sub to Myanmar. And no, not very many people know that about that Claude RP wrote on 16th December, time to reclaim Gilgit and Baltistan. I believe Gilgit and Baltistan was handed over on a platter by a guy called Major Brown, who did a bloodless coup, and actually, technically, even with the as this report suggests, Gilgit and Baltistan actually totally belong to India. This is actually right time for armed forces to hit out and connect, because one of the things I noted is that Narwane, other two chiefs are Air Force kids. They're all piece of the same pot. These three the guys heading our forces. This is the best time for us to be able to make take any action against China, because otherwise you have all the guys, all the three chiefs working at cross purposes. Then you have another report on December 21st, post Wuhan. Guidance from highest level cut LAC tiffs. India is optimistic that situation along the line of actual control with China will further improve, with two armies actively working to reduce the managed troops confrontation after the Doklam win. December 24th, folks. This is what we call living in La La Land. La La Land. Okay. Then we have another one, India, China to intensify efforts for border peace. We have India-China border talks likely on December 21st. Then we have India and China to intensify efforts to resolve border row. Here we have Ajit Doval in the picture. The special representative shared the view that stable and balanced development of India-China relations is a positive factor for peace and prosperity in the region and the world, said the MES. And this is where we go wrong, folks. We have been led up a garden path merrily without any preparation. You can see this, our guard is totally down. Okay. And Chinese at that time making, hey, remember the forecast we were having in Pakistan in December? Our efforts diffused India-Pak tension, says China. Wow. And we say, no interference, eh? Then we had, we'll work with India to bolster defense ties. China, more like squiggling into us and trying to find all our weaknesses, for sure. That's what it seems, right? Then December 28th, China urges India-Pak to exercise restraint at LOC. Who the hell are they? Who gave them the right? Is what I want to know. Then you have Pak, but all the time that China is China, and we are saying we are going to have peace, brother. You have a 29th December report. Pakistan rolls out fighters made with Chinese collaboration. That should actually have thrown the sink at this hole at the Chinese by now, but nobody really connected the dots, right? And at Jan 1st, we are actively exploring options to resolve Sikkim dispute. China, hey, where is this a dispute? I mentioned it then. They are creating disputes where India doesn't think they existed. Narwane that time on Jan 2nd, obviously things are not okay. He says, we'll pay equal attention to China border. Narwane. Then on 3rd Jan, it says Pakistan set to induct upgraded JF-17 fighter jets made with China. Okay. But all this while, China ain't given up on his best buddy. Amid China-packed naval drill, India deploys aircraft carrier, report on January 11th. Things have never been so black and white as far as China is concerned. Except that we just never read them right. Then you on Jan 15th report, and aggressively China is back. Beijing will be territorially assertive this year, be prepared. China has sent a clear message for the new year, and one of which India would do well to take note, namely that its economy may be slowing and its relations with the United States fragile, but there will be no let-up in Beijing's assertion of its territorial claims, whether on land or sea. Implicit is that knowledge on territory means an acceptance of China's preeminence in Asia. We got that on January 15th, right? But, our guys are not going to give up. India must find equilibrium with China on key issues. Jai Shankar. I know how many times I've heard that. I really don't know how many times I've heard that. Then on January 18th, Claude Apri actually puts it all in perspective, right? Not everything is okay. Not only is he talking about the periphery being in trouble as far as China is concerned, he's even talking about they just do not have the money that we all think they have. They've hit their limit. 23rd Jan, Jayadeva Ranade says, India must take note of the Chinese-Pakistan nexus. That is something that's been apparent Totally. And then RP writes after that on February 10th, killer virus dents President Xi's mandate. Herein lies the story, folks. We really missed the bus. That's why I bought these articles all going all the way back. To say that this game was unprecedented is absolutely delusional. Jai Hind.